Investigation: Despite economic hardship, Wike allocates 10 billion naira for rent, furniture to Akpabio, Tajuddin, two others. They have money now. They have money to share among themselves. But if it is us now, they will tell us to manage. Manage, Nigerians, manage. But Wike can be giving somebody 10 billion naira for rent, furniture to Akpabio. What does he want to use furniture for? He doesn't have furniture in his house before. No, he has, but they just want to be wasting money. And yet, they'll tell us that there's no money in the country. The presiding officers of the National Assembly, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker Abbas Tajuddin, and their deputies Barau Jibrin and Ben Kalu were allocated 10 billion naira for rent and furniture in the 2024 supplementary budget. Supplementary budget. Nigerians, una go hear when. Supplementary budget of the FCT Premium Times Investigation reveals. The budget item titled Renting and Furniture of Presiding Officer of the National Assembly has the classification code 23010309 in the 288 billion naira supplementary budget President Bola Tinubu transmitted to the National Assembly in September, which was passed within 5 days by the lawmakers. So there is supplementary budget of 288 billion naira, and out of that supplementary budget, they are giving out 10 billion naira to Akpabio, to Abbas Tajuddin for furnitures. Are they telling us they don't have furnitures before? Are they telling us they cannot pay their rent? What exactly are they giving them money for? These people now work for them. Under Nigeria's bicameral legislative system, there are 4 presiding officers of the National Assembly: the Senate President, the Speaker, the Deputy Senate President, and the Deputy Speaker. These 4 men are the latest Nigerian government officials to receive lavish accommodation allowances or new housing projects from the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT), Nyesom Wike, whose generosity indeed. He will not give them anything for free. He is doing it because of something. He's definitely doing that because of something. Because I don't understand why you are giving them rent to Abbas Tajuddin, to Akpabio, so they don't have a house of their own. Is that what you are saying? Or that Akpabio doesn't have a furniture in his house? That you are giving them money for these people? They don't see us finish. They know that Nigerians are not going to talk. We are just going to rant. At the end of our ranting, we are going to keep quiet. That is why they are doing anything that they like, and they just go away with it. Whose generosity in the last 15 months included a 21 billion naira residential mansion for Vice President Kashim Shettima. So he was the one that even gave Kashim Shettima money for his mansion. Well, things are going on in this country. We are yet to know anything. The Abuja minister also allocated 25 billion naira for the construction of houses for 40 judges. With the planned rent and furniture budget, Mr. Wike appears to have extended his generosity across the 3 arms of government, executive, judiciary, and legislature, so that he can have every one of them under his authority, so that every one of them can answer to him, so that if he has any issues, they are going to solve it for him, so that if he has any cases, they are going to solve it for him. So now let us wait for them to judge Wike and Fubara's case, the lawmakers' cases, and then we'll know if truly. Because I don't understand why he's the one buying houses for them, he's the one paying rent for them, is the one furnishing their house for them. I don't get. I really do not get it. The allocation comes amidst the current economic hardship in Nigeria. You are not extending your generosity to the people of Nigeria, to the masses, to the ones that are suffering. You are extending your generosity to people that already have more than enough. The irony. It is well. Despite the economic hardship in Nigeria, which experts believe is due to the government's policies of the regulation of the petroleum downstream sector and the devaluation of the Naira, within the last 3 weeks, dozens of Nigerians have died in stampedes while trying to collect food items. The current administration has continued what many describe as lavish spending while preaching austerity measures for most Nigerians. Some of these expenditures include a $100 million presidential jet, the botched presidential yacht, luxurious sport utility vehicles for members of the National Assembly and others. All these things, what do they need it for? Nothing. They're just wasting money. Meanwhile, there are things that you should do in the country that you are not doing. I don't understand these people. I really do not understand them. If you want to spend money lavishly, nobody is saying you should not spend, but make sure that your citizens are okay. Make sure that things are working for your citizens before you start lavishing money on unnecessary things that you do not need. Now, wow, I don't understand the way these people think. Oh. Mr. Wike has in the past been accused of using some of his generous spending on institutions as a subtle means of compromising them. That is what he's doing. That is exactly what he's doing. There's no going back and forth in this one, because he will not do anything for them for free. He's doing it because he wants something in return. But he has denied the allegation. Let him deny 1 billion times. That is what he's doing. According to Section 299 of the 1999 Constitution, the President is the governor of the FCT, while the National Assembly serves as its legislative arms. Also, Section 302 of the Constitution gives the President the power to appoint someone as the Minister of the FCT to act on his behalf. Mr. Wike, a prominent member of the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP), was appointed by President Tinubu in what observers believe is a reward for the role of the former Rivers State Governor played during the presidential election in 2023. The Federal Capital Development Authority (FCDA) owns several public buildings in the FCT, including the National Assembly and other structures through the Department of Public Buildings. Some of the buildings the department lists on its website include the Supreme Court Complex, the Presidential Complex, the Federal Ministry Building, the Assembly Complex, and others. In 2022, the FCT spent over 42 billion naira to renovate part of the National Assembly Complex, despite public outrage by Nigerians over the expenditure. In the past, members of the National Assembly, including the 4 presiding officers, had their accommodations at the legislative quarters located in the Akpo area of Abuja. However, the buildings were sold under the monetization policy that started under Olusegun Obasanjo's administration. Initially, all the buildings were sold except those for the presiding officers. In the 6th Assembly under the Umar Yar'Adua's administration, the buildings were sold to the 4 presiding officers: Senate President David Mark, Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, Speaker of the House of Representatives Dimeji Bankole, and Deputy Speaker Bayero Nafada. In 2011, the government opted to build new houses for the presiding officers on the outskirts of the city in Katampe Extension, behind the Lungu Barracks. These people, are they not collecting salary? I'm sure that as they are working as Senate, as this or that, or as whatever capacity they are working on from, they are supposed to be collecting salary. So what is your duty again? To be building houses for them, or to be renting houses for them, or to be getting furniture for them? And out of the 35,000 minimum wage they were paying before they made the minimum wage 70,000 naira, they expect Nigerians to feed from it, to pay their children's school fees from it, to pay their house rent from it. So why are you giving these people money to build houses again? Meanwhile, you are paying them salary. Lots of people are dying in the country. There is so much hardship in the country. These people, I'm sure they are collecting salaries. They are collecting allowances. And then you will now still build house for them on top. Or you will pay their house rent. This country is funny. It's really, really funny. And we really need to speak up, because this thing is rubbish. People are dying in the country. The hardship is so much. There is supplementary list for budgets, and the supplementary list, you are not using it to give somebody house rent money. He cannot pay his rent by himself. I don't get it. Now, wow, God will help us. Mr. Wike, in a letter dated 11 September and addressed to President Tinubu, requested additional spending of 288 billion naira as a supplementary budget for the FCT, so that you'll be sharing it out. So that you'll be using it for people that you want to spend money on. Really. My country people, it is well with us. It is really, really well with us. They like the way we are suffering in this country. They just want to keep suffering us. That is just it. My listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.